Let's not whine. Let's just do it. Hey guys, it's day 14. So, guess what time it is? Let's pull a prompt. Can't get a hold of it. Oh, it feels so thick. Oh, it is thick. Just, okay. Got it. Okay. Make borders with drop paper or painted paper. Okay, that'll be fun. I gotta get my stuff together. So basically what I'm gonna be doing is getting some paper that I've already got painted up, that it's painted paper that I keep in a box, or drop paper. It could be called drop paper, under paper, painted paper, painty paper. It's just whatever you keep under you while you're working and excess paint goes off onto. Like this is basically gonna be an under paper or drop paper because it catches my extra stuff sometimes. It's getting really dirty. So I'm going to gather that. So if you have those, gather that. If you don't have that, then you can just take some plain paper and paint up a bunch of just lines and scribbles and make a bunch of pretty just colors on there and then make your borders that way. Or you can use scrapbook paper, like I used scrapbook paper in this last prompt. When I could only use my palette knife, I did it on top of scrapbook paper. So that's a lot of different options. You could use magazines, you can use calendars, like calendar art, anything that you have on hand, okay? So let me go get my stuff and we will make some borders. Before we get started, I wanted to show you guys something real quick. A few days ago, we decorating the business card sheet, and I told you that you could save the edges of your business card sheet if you punched out your business cards. So this is one that I did a while back, and I don't know where that card is. It's either in the box or I used it for something, but imagine it all the way complete with this in there and then leaving it that way. Or your cards, once you pull them all out, are going to look like this, which they're really cute individual. So when I was trying to explain to you about that, this is what I was talking about. And also telling you that you could use your borders. This is what I'm talking about. There's paint and markings on the edges of these that are really cute that can be used for borders. And here's another one. Here's another one. And another one. So that's what I was talking about, saving your borders, going all the way out to your borders. You can use these. I wanted to show you what I pulled out of my box. These are drop papers, painty papers, like I described. This is on deli paper, and this is deli paper scrap also. This is just a regular piece of copy paper or printer paper. Same thing, printer paper, deli paper again. This is wax paper. This is a book page that I put a napkin on. This is a sticker sheet. It's one solid sticker, and I just jelly printed on it. This is a drop paper that was underneath something I was working on. This is heavier paper, not a cardstock, but a little bit heavier weight paper. And the same here. This is deli paper. And these are the borders I just showed you from the business cards. So the other thing I went and got was a few things that you can use to make borders. First, you can just use a Sharpie or a pencil or something and draw your own borders. We'll do a couple of those. And you can also use decorative scissors if you have some of these in your art room. If you don't, just use regular scissors and kind of make your waves or follow the lines you draw with your pencil or pen or whatever. And they also have rulers like this. My mother had these, and so I wound up with all her stuff after she passed away. So I've never used them. These rulers have edges that you can tear your paper and make decorative edges. I hope it works. We'll see. You could also take some sponges, like make your own stamps out of sponges, and then sponge along here and then cut out around it and leave some of the color. and maybe make your sponge, like pretend this is a sponge. You could make your impression here and here and here and spread it out, and then cut around it like a wave, and then you'll have your dots. Or you could make them close so they touch, and then cut out around the stamp impression, and then leave the color at the bottom. There's all different ways you can do this. What I want to do first is I'm going to find a heavier paper, which is these, I think, and use that, because I want to use the punch first. Or maybe one of these. Probably not this one. It's not filled up enough. Let's try this one. See what happens. And this is a punch that is a border punch. I don't know, did I show that to you? I don't know if I showed it to you. I have a few of these punches. I don't use them very often, so now's a good time to use them. And this one folds out like this. And you just take your paper, start at the edge. Here's your edge where it folds. I'm going to stick my paper to that edge right there. And I probably should have this turned around so that I could easily, I'll turn it around so I could easily use it. Okay, you gotta push hard, make sure your impression goes through, and then pull out your impression from your punch. And then you want to move your paper down and line up the design with the design here. So let's find out where it fits. Right there. So my paper is now lined up with the impression on the punch. And I'm going to make my next impression. Gotta push hard, so I'm standing. Pull it out. And line it up again. Just like that. Push hard. Same thing. Okay, and that gives me my border. What I'm going to do is take some scissors. I'm going to clip off the edge here because I don't need it attached anymore. There we have one border already done by using a punch. Okay, so that's one. Okay, I'm going to do one more, and this is the design of this one. Okay, here we have this one, and then all I have to do is cut it off. This is where you can decide how deep you want your border. Do you want it right up at the edge, like with this little narrow side here? Do you want the same size over there, or do you want bigger? And I'm just gonna wing it because I don't really care. Don't have any plans for these. We'll probably use them in the project in the end somehow. Okay, and I can cut off the ends. And we have our second border. There's a lot of white at the top here, and that's okay. I can always spray this or paint it or leave it. I kind of like it that way. Okay, so let's go on to something else. Okay, I want to try these rulers and see how they work. I think I'll go this direction. And if it's not straight, that's okay. If you want this straight, you can put down a mat that has grids on it. You can line your ruler up with the grid and your paper with the grid, but you know, that ain't happening right now. That didn't happen here. I just want to play, so if the border's crooked, I don't care. I think I do want a little bit more to tear. Okay, let's just see what we get. Deli paper is easier to tear, so that's why I'm trying it, but it's also flimsier, so it may not be as pretty as I want it to be. Heavier paper might be better. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, I like it. Okay, it's just a rough tear. We'll try a heavier paper and see what we get. And you can trim this off however wide you want it. So let's try this ruler. Okay. Kind of jaggedy, but I like it. And the other side has the opposite of the first one we did. So I like it. Okay, let's get a heavier paper. Okay, this is heavier. This is like the one that we used for the butterflies. So let's see what we get with this one. The thing is, if you want a narrow border, you gotta kind of pull harder. I mean, it seems it'd be easier if you had more paper to pull. But let's not whine. Let's just do it. This is actually harder to do. So we're learning together today. This is harder than the deli paper. Still looks cute though. Still like it. Okay, there's one more side to this ruler we can try. And this has a bunch of white here. That's okay, it can be fixed. This one will be easier. There's a little bit of a jagged edge there. Okay, so we have that border. All right, let's do something else. Okay, let's try one of these scissors. Let's try this one. I like that. That was easy. Okay, let's try this one. And this time we're going to have a border on this side too. Okay, I like that. And we have one more to try. I like that one. It's got the scallop and then the little jagged looking side. Okay, let's try something else. Here's a way to make a border. It's super easy. This paper here, this is the wax paper. I tore some off to use it, so it's already got a jagged edge there. So I just cut a straight line with my cutter, or tear it. You can have two jagged edges, but just say, for argument's sake, I want a straight line. There's a border, little short one, the bottom of a page, that'd be cute. And now I've got a straight line again, so I could just come in here and start tearing every which way. I have a jaggedy, really crazy, funky border. Just torn edges. And here's another torn edge. I can just go ahead and make another one. Let's see what else we can get into. These are kind of already pre-made for me because they are actual borders from the business card pages. And I could just take my scissors and cut them. Let's see, I want the large one here. Cut it right here. And right here. And I already have a border. And both sides are straight. That's fine. You can take your scissors and make it jaggy if you want to. And if you've got writing on your border, it's no big deal. You can cut it off so you have just this piece. Or you could paint over it, or you could cover it with paper. But I like that. I'm going to get a bunch of borders out of this. Okay, so there's all of our borders from just the business card pages. Make a bunch of those and you've got borders pre-made. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, let's make our own border with the Sharpie pen. And all I'm going to do is just turn over my paper. And I'm going to make a border. Doesn't have to be perfect. I've never said that before, have I? Okay, and then cut out. roughly where you drew. You don't have to be exact because you're not going to see this once you put it down on your page. So whatever you're making, this will be glued down this side and the other side will show, so it doesn't matter if you're on the line or not. Okay, so now we have a border. Now we have this type of border on this side, so you can cut a straight edge again. Give yourself another border. Or you don't want a straight edge, tear it. So now we have that border. So you got two. Okay, so this one here is on a sticker sheet. And it has a rickrack design already, so if I wanted to, and I don't, I could fuzzy cut and get my border edge that way, but I don't want to do that. So what I could do is I could cut out one of these like this. Hang on, let's try this. And this is not straight because my jelly print isn't straight. I can tell it's crooked, but we're going to try it anyway and see what happens. Okay, so I got this. And I'm going to go ahead and cut a zigzag. Alright, so I'll finish that off camera. Okay, so we have a zigzag border. If I wanted to go a little further, I could turn it around and do the same thing over here. So then it would look the same on both sides, but I'm not going to do that. You get the idea. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, for this one, I'm going to put my Sharpie on top of the actual paint instead of on the bottom. And just make a funky little border. And I'm going to cut out on the outside of my line. Okay, we have another one. Not loving this one as much, but it's okay. I might put a few little marks here just to make it more interesting. Or I could take my hole punch and punch holes. Punch those holes out. Maybe we'll do that on one. I'm not going to do too many more. Gotta go eat dinner. You can tell that I lost my patience with the in and out stuff, so I went straight across so I could cut it differently. But what's left here, I could go in and just make a straight cut if I wanted to, or use my cutter. And I got another little funky border. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, let's do a border on, let's do this edge. So, let me turn it over. And I'm just going to do another scallopy type border so that I can show you what I would do with my hole punch. Take my hole punch, I'm going to punch holes right in the center there. Now I'm just going to cut around the scallop and I'll be back after I've done that. Okay, I have my border cut out and the little holes make it look really cute. Maybe this is distracting, I don't know. There. And then, as a bonus, because I cut it out slowly, I have this border. Okay, last thing I wanted to tell you about. You can make fabric borders just as easily. You can cut them, but just to make a fabric border real quick, I will take a piece of fabric and I'll find the selvage, which is the edge that is sealed off of your fabric, and I'll just make a little clip and I'm going to tear. So now I have another border in fabric, and I use fabric borders all the time. Okay, so that's it for today. That's enough. We've done enough. You get the idea. Just go for it. Have a good time. I don't know, I love all of them, so I can't pick a favorite, but if I had to pick a favorite, I'd probably pick the ones that, I love the hand-torn ones, and I love the business card borders. And this little red one here, I love that one, the little holes. I'm not loving this one, I don't like the black lines, but that can be fixed. You can cut them out, cut them off, or when you put it on your paper or whatever you're making, journal, you can highlight them, like make them darker and really bold, and then it'll look better. But anyway, okay, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow for day 15. Bye-bye.